I'm happy to see so many faces. I really would like to welcome all of you. I also would like to say hello and welcome to Lotta Lekvall, our Swedish guest today, and also Marko Radenkovic and Tihomir Stojanović. And she was talking about a shift in Sweden where we're not talking so much about creative industries anymore, but we're more talking about creative economy and also creative society. We need a society that supports creativity in the society, and that means state support, but also different kind of supports to social and cultural entrepreneurs. She was also talking about when you're having your own company that you should gather different kind of people around you, everything from marketing people, business people to management people, if you're having a culture company. Now today, Lotta, she is the director of Nätverkstan. She will talk about that place. It's a platform for culture and social entrepreneurs, and you are helping them and supporting them in different ways, but also working with digital media. Tihomir Stojanović, he is a blogger. I think you're the biggest blogger in Serbia? No. He's not, but he will anyhow talk about his network of creative people. Before I give the floor, and then we are having Dalida Turković. Dalida Turković is one of these Serbs that left the country these last 20 years. You all know there was a lot of people leaving Serbia, and she is an example of one of these extremely successful Serbs somewhere in other parts of the world. She's living in China, and she's running 3 companies. And she could not be with us on Skype. We thought we were going to have her on Skype, but you know the time difference between China and Serbia, it's a little bit tricky. But she have done a video.
So I would like you to think a little bit of this model. Like one thing that we discuss is how do you sustain yourself? How do you make sure that what you run can be on a long term? As an artist, you might have, you know, the hit exhibition, it goes really well. Or as a musician, you have your one song that, it sells really good. But what happens then? How do you sustain it? How do you keep on? And when we analyze ourselves as culture practitioners, we can use this model. And it's actually also from the UK and from a person, Sean Prime, that you find down there, that we work together with a lot, and it comes from her, but it's a really useful grid. So this suggests that 4 components need to be in place when you run something, or you're a freelancer, or you run your own thing, or for that matter, if you run an organization. One is there has to be money, and as a freelancer you have to of course, and as an organization you have to have money coming in. You have to have, so you can pay your rent. Your children can eat and all that stuff. But you also need to have a lot of skills. The artistic talent, the artistic work if you're an artist. You need to network, and you need to also work on your profile, which can be your CV. Sometimes as a visual artist it's really important to exhibit your work at a gallery, and you're not getting anything paid. But for your CV it's really good to have showed your work there. That type of thing. So you have to have that in mind too. Sometimes you have to, if you don't have any money, you have to put your time into just getting money in. But then that doesn't work in the long run, because you also need to be in the skills. We had a violinist in one of our courses, and she was struggling with this because she needed to learn a completely new method of playing, a completely new style. So she needed to work on her skills, her artistic skill, and she needed to be doing that, 24 hours a day for a long time. At the same time, she needed to get money. She had no time to network, which is building relationships, and she was not working on her profile. And so how would you do? How would you reason around these 4? What she came up with was that perhaps, okay, I'll accept that I don't have much money at the moment. I'll live on my partner or I'll borrow money because I need to do this. When I've finished with my new method of playing, then I will get more jobs and then I can actually live on that. Meanwhile, maybe it's good for me to network with some of these different organizations, so at least I keep that up. And from the profile, you might choose to take, how do you say, a play, with, you know, a performance somewhere because it's good, but you don't earn any money from that. So this is sort of going around in these 4 all the time. For now, for 6 months, I will only work to, you know, get money in. And one of the authors that we had in Nairobi, she was an author and she didn't have time to write her books, but she was actually working at a publishing house. So after a while, looking at that, you could see that she was getting her money and she was working in a publishing house. That was good for her networking, you know, that could give good contacts for her as a writer. But she didn't have any time to write. That was her main thing. And so she ended up deciding that, okay, I'll go back to my publishing house and I'll say that maybe I can work a little bit less, so I get a little bit more time to work on my writing. And then I would actually be happier for a little while.
Moja prezentacija će biti u suštini priča kako sam stigao ovde gde sam sada. Svako strada od svoje najveće strasti. Zašto ovaj podnaslov? Zašto je moja sadašnja supruga jednom prilikom je rekla da umem da poprilično zastranim kada radim nešto što volim i to ja mislim da je možda najbitnija stvar koju svako treba da ima na svom umu kad je u pitanju umetnosti i kultura. Jer obično ljudi koji se bave umetnošću i kulturom su poprilično strastveni i umemo da zaboravimo neke bitne stvari koje nam omogućavaju da opstanemo. A upravo 11 principa o kojima ću govoriti su te stvari koje su meni omogućile da opstanem ovoliko godina. Sad, ovo je pregled tema, znači koliko o kojima ću govoriti. Ljudi. Ovo su fotografije nekih od okupljanja ljudi sa mreže i sa sajta mreže kreativnih ljudi. Užasno je bitno da shvatite da kakvu god ideju imate, čak i ako izaberete posao koji niko neće, ne možete sami. Znači, neophodno je bilo da se okupi tim ljudi. Konstantno u okviru mreže postoje otprilike 10-ak saradnika, jednog trena je bilo 20 i nešto, sad trenutno smo rasporedili posao tako da funkcionišemo sa tim brojem. Ja ne znam sve stvari, ne mogu sve da postignem, ali ako uključite ljude i uključite da svako doprinese po nešto malo, to će biti dovoljno da vaš sistem može mnogo lakše da opstane nego ako se vi razbolite ili zavisi samo od vas. Zato je užasno bitno da se vidite s tim ljudima, da komunicirate s tim ljudima, da delite istu viziju. I možda ovo da delite istu viziju je najbitnija stvar. Užasno je potrebno da budete uporni šta god da se dešava. Kad sam došao na svoj sadašnji posao, posle mesec dana sam hteo da odustanem. Posle 3 meseca sam hteo da odustanem. Posle godinu dana sam hteo da odustanem, pa sam ipak 2,5 godine na tom poslu. Isto je bilo sa sajtom. Znači, sajt je, nekad mi je falio novac, nekad nisam imao vremena, nekad mi je ponestala motivacija, nekad nešto od toga jednostavno više nije imalo smisla, promenilo se društvo. Kad sam ja počinjao, nije postojalo stvarno ništa na internetu, vi niste mogli, niste imali ni content management sistem koji sad omogućava sajt da funkcioniše, sve je ručno pravljeno i stranica po stranica je postavljena i tako dalje. Sam sadržaj nije postojao, ljudi nisu znali da postave sami svoje delo, nego ste vi morali je postavljati za njih i još gomila drugih stvari. Znači, veoma bitna stavka je upornost u celoj ovoj priči i da kada stvarno mislite da je kraj i da nemate više snage, sačekajte malo, napravite pauzu pa nastavite dalje. Inovacija. Šta inovacija podrazumeva? Znači, ne morate biti beskrajno kreativni, stalno smišljati nešto novo. To je zamka u koju svi mi uđemo. Znači, kad god možete, sačuvajte svoje vreme, sačuvajte svoje ljude i jednostavno automatizujte proces koji god možete. Znači, napravite da vam se poveže Facebook sa Twitterom, Twitter sa sajtom i tako dalje. Odnosno, ono kad pustite nešto na blog, da ode dalje. To su neki od mehanizama koji su poprilično omogućili da iako radim neki posao, mogu da i dalje nastavim da radim sa mrežom i verujte, postoji danas dosta toga što možete da implementirate, a da sačuvate svoje vreme i sebe. Nove tehnologije i novi servisi. Ovo je prvi mobilni telefon. Znači, ne morate baš svaki put da uzmete sve što je najnovije. Mislim da ne bi mogao stane u džep, to je definitivno. Malo biste ludo izgledali na ulici i svakako mislim da je baterija trajala nešto tipa recimo 20 minuta razgovora, zato što su repetitori bili jedno 20 km dalje. Znači, pokušajte da pratite šta je novo, pokušajte da budete u toku s tehnologijom, novim servisima, ali nemojte biti u onome što je najnovije, kažu prvi mačići se bacaju u vodu. Sljedeća stavka, ja mislim da je ovo poslednja, jeste zabava, igre, eksperimentisanje. Ukoliko ne postoji zabava, ukoliko vama nije lepo dok to radite i ukoliko se ne odvažite da eksperimentišete, pustite tu stvar. Znači, jednostavno, nemojte da radite nešto što je rutinska stvar, jer rutinsku stvar ne možete raditi 2 meseca, ne možete raditi godinu dana, kamoli 10 godina. Morate da se zabavljate, da vam bude beskrajno interesantno, da li je to u toliko što ćete upoznati nove ljude, da li je zato što ćete imati priliku negdje da otputujete, da li je to zbog novca ili čega god. Ono što vi radite mora da vam bude zabavno i da imate priliku konstantno da eksperimentišete, jer evo kao što vidite ovde, 3 ljudi, 85 pokušaja gledanja. Ovo je bio eksperiment na živo.
For me, driving force is actually to see that things are changing and moving. And in Dalida's case, it took some years. In Tihomir's case, it took some years, and as well for Lotta and her organization. So it takes a lot of efforts and a lot of work, and I know about that. Thank you for tonight, and I hope to see you on Monday again.